Welcome to a Guy News special report. Word has reached us that last night's Labour Party political broadcast is in fact full of it. Here is a special report from our Guy News correspondents.
Good morning, I'm Tory Bear and this is Guy News TV special. Top story today, J.K. Rowling was removed from last night's party election broadcast by the Labour Party, probably because she gave them £1 million.
And in her place, many errors. I'm Emily Nomates and this is a Guy News special. Let's roll the tape.
How can I just let you walk away? Just let you leave without a trace.
That appears to be the wrong tape. I'm sorry for that error. Let's try that again.
They said that working people were not fit to govern, so we formed the Labour Party. When they told us that women didn't deserve the vote, we fought and won.
Now let's just pause things here on the subject of women's suffrage, shall we? Because we all remember from our history textbooks that women got the vote in this country in 1919. That's right, when Liberal Prime Minister Lloyd George was in charge of the country. And they were then extended the right to equal suffrage in 1928 under the Prime Minister. Can you remember it, Tory Bear, who was Prime Minister at that time?
I remember it being a Conservative. Was it Baldwin?
It was a Conservative. Stanley Baldwin extended the vote to women on equal terms.
But he's not a member of the Labour Party.
He is not. It in fact gives the Labour Party the dubious honour of having been the only party not to pass legislation on women's suffrage. And instead, they are the only party to have refused entry to Emmeline Pankhurst on the grounds of her sex.
Shocking. Shocking.
They said the son of a miner could never become a minister, but no one told Nye Bevan.
If we could just stop the tape there, I think I noticed quite a big blunder. Did you see anything, Guido?
Yes, where it said Nye Bevan, I'm sure I saw Ernie Bevan. As any die-hard Labour Bevanite will know, Nye Bevan spelt his name with an A. N-Y-E-B-E-V-A-N. So let's wind back.
They said the son of a miner could never become a minister.
Wait a minute, who's this? Bevan. As a Bevanite will also know, Ernst Bevin, with an I, was a Labour minister during the Second World War. Bevan. Bevin. Different Bevans. Why do they even bother?
Why do they bother indeed, Guido? And what's next in this extravaganza of errors? Well, it's factual inaccuracy number 472.
Fascism.
At one time it seemed impossible to stop the tide of fascism, until good men and women stood in the way.
Now, don't get me wrong, but I believe that it was a certain Tory leader, one Winston Churchill, who stood up to the tide of fascism. Is that how you remember it?
Yeah, you may have heard of him, Winston Churchill, a Conservative Prime Minister who was leading this country during the war.
Exactly, but thankfully that presumably is the only international statesman that the Labour Party have tried to take credit for in this video.
Well, unfortunately not, unless, unbeknownst to me, Nelson Mandela and Barack Obama have recently joined the Labour Party, because here they are in the broadcast.
Today, the values and aims of Labour are as important as they ever were. The party for hope, for change, for fairness, making the banks and the city more responsible with our money.
I'm sorry, could we just pause the tape and rewind it? Yep, and let's just slow that right down. Let's just have a little closer look at those headlines there on the side of that bank.
Yes, I think you can see there, the first headline in this video is Mortgage Approval Slump to Record Lows, is the headline there.
Now this could be the very first honest point in the entire video. This is fantastic news.
You have to give them credit, this is a very...
I could be wrong, but I think I also saw economy to slow this year, despite rate cuts. This is brutal honesty from the Labour Party. Brilliant, brilliant stuff.
And finally, that you can just see the last part of the headline there, it's weak pound aggravating inflationary pressures.
This is a whole new side to this election broadcast. Is this Labour finally being truthful with the country? It's a shame they speeded it up so you could barely see it, but those mistakes are there. What a strange new streak of honesty from the Labour Party.
They do try to end their video on an upbeat note.
So here's to the fighters, the true Brits, the ones who never gave up, who came from behind to win the day.
Here's to the fighters. Here's to those with all the disadvantages of the Westminster incumbency benefit. Here's to those who came from behind.
That's what Gordon said.
But that's another story.